The scream tore through the stale air of the 12th floor hallway like a shattered window, raw and unfiltered, pulling every tenant from their doorways in a heartbeat. "Get that door open now." Howard's voice cracked, his fists pounding against the rusted emergency exit bar. But it wouldn't budge, jammed solid by the sleek black SUV parked inches from the frame like some arrogant throne. Down the corridor, flames from the drill's pyrotechnics licked mockingly at the edges of a prop barrier, the blare of alarms mocking their panic as smoke. Fake but choking billowed in. And there, in the chaos, Eugene's hand found Howard's, trembling yet fierce, whispering, "We're not dying in this godforsaken building. Not like this, not without saying what we've buried for years." Howard Jenkins had always hated the Hawthorne Arms. Not the building itself, that faded brick monolith squatting on the edge of Chicago's Wrigleyville, with its creaky elevators and views of the L train rattling by like a mechanical heartbeat. No, it was the people. The Hawthorne Arms Condo Association, with its bylaws thicker than a Tolstoy novel and enforced by a rotating cast of busybodies who treated the place like their personal fiefdom. Howard, a 28-year-old librarian at the nearby Harold Washington Library, thrived on order, dewy decimals marching in neat rows, the hush of turning pages, the quiet thrill of recommending a forgotten Faulkner to a wide-eyed undergrad. Chaos? That was for the stacks he organized, not the life he curated so carefully. He'd moved in 2 years ago, fresh off a breakup that left him questioning every quiet corner of his heart. His ex, Marcus, had been all flash, tattoos snaking up olive skin, a laugh that filled rooms but never lingered in the silences. When Marcus bailed for a real shot in LA, Howard didn't chase. He nested instead. Second-hand bookshelves crammed floor to ceiling, a single pothose vine trailing from the kitchen window like a tentative olive branch. At 6 feet 1 inch with broad shoulders honed from hauling crates of returns, Howard cut an imposing figure, but his dark brown eyes, framed by lashes too long for a man who claimed no vanity, betrayed the softness he guarded like a rare first edition. Across the hall lived Eugene Patel, the ghost in apartment 1207. Eugene was 30, a software engineer at a fintech startup downtown, the kind of guy who coded algorithms for stock trades while the world burned on TikTok feeds. Slender, with wiry black hair that curled at the nape when he forgot his morning gel, and skin the color of polished teak, Eugene moved through life like a subroutine. Efficient, unassuming, always one step ahead of detection. He'd grown up in a sprawling Indian-American family in the suburbs, where Sundays meant samosas and silent expectations. Marry well, settle down, don't rock the boat. Coming out? That was a glitch, not a feature. So he patched it over. Polite nods at HOA meetings, solo brunches at corner cafes, and late-night scrolls through Grindr profiles he never swiped right on. Their worlds brushed edges first in the laundry room, a basement dungeon lit by flickering fluorescence. Howard was folding a stack of teas, humming Coltrane under his breath, when Eugene's dryer pinged. A stray sock tumbled out, landing at Howard's feet like an offering. "That's mine," Eugene said, voice low and accented with the faint lilt of Des Plaines summers. Howard picked it up, holding it out with a grin. "Blue toes? Bold choice for a guy in black sneakers." Eugene flushed, snatching it back, but his laugh, quick, surprised, echoed off the concrete. From there, it was small collisions. Shared elevators where Howard teased about Eugene's endless coffee mugs, caffeine dependency, or secret barista dreams. Eugene countering with quips about Howard's book hauls, planning to start your own Library of Congress. They never named it, this easy rhythm, but it hummed between them like the L train's distant rumble. The HOA was their reluctant unifier. The Hawthorne Arms Board, a coven of retirees and remote workers, met monthly in the lobby lounge, a space decked with faded poinsettias and the faint scent of mothballs. President was Lydia, call me Lee Hargrove, a sharp-eyed widow in her 60s who wielded the gavel like Excalibur. Vice was Tom Riley, a beer-bellied ex-cop with a mustache that screamed 1980s cop show. And then there was Karen Whitaker, oh Karen. Mid-50s, bleach blonde bob, yoga pants stretched over a frame built for confrontation. Karen, who chaired the parking committee with the zeal of a televangelist, treating the underground garage like her personal DMZ. Spots are sacred, she'd declare, her voice a nasal foghorn. I pay my dues. I claim my rights. Howard and Eugene bonded over eye rolls at those meetings. Howard, the quiet dissenter, would sketch doodles in his notebook. Karen as a dragon hoarding hubcaps. Eugene, ever the diplomat, would lean over whispering, if she quotes the covenant one more time, I'm coding a virus for her Fitbit. Laughter bubbled then, stolen and sweet, their knees brushing under the folding table. But outside those fluorescent-lit farces, they retreated. Howard to his audiobooks on civil rights, Eugene to debugging sessions that stretched till dawn. Unspoken rules governed their orbit. No invites across thresholds, no lingering gazes in the hall. Chicago was progressive on paper, but the Hawthorne Arms? It was a microcosm of polite Midwestern frost. Smiles for the rainbow flags on porches, whispers behind closed doors. It started fraying on a drizzly October evening, the kind where Lake Michigan's wind whipped off the lake like a grudge. Howard was in the lobby, sorting mail from the brass-boxed labyrinth, when Karen stormed in, heels clicking like gunfire. That Indian kid, Eugene whatever, took my spot again. Third time this month. She thrust a crumpled ticket at Lee, who sighed into her clipboard. Howard's jaw tightened. Eugene's Prius was compact, eco-friendly, the opposite of Karen's gas-guzzling Escalade. But he bit his tongue, diplomacy, always diplomacy. Eugene arrived minutes later, rain-slicked hair and a sheepish shrug. It was open. I didn't see the cone. Karen whirled, eyes narrowing. Open? That's my reserved spot, sweetheart. HOA bylaws, page 47. Members with premium dues get priority. The word sweetheart landed like a slap, laced with that old venom. Eugene's shoulders hunched, but Howard stepped forward, mail forgotten. The garage is communal, Karen. No one's premium over anyone else's. Her gaze flicked to him, appraising. Oh, the book boy. Stay out of grown folks' business. The lobby fell silent, tenants pretending to check phones. Eugene met Howard's eyes. A flicker of gratitude, then something deeper, unguarded. That night, as Howard lay in bed, the ceiling fan whirring like accusations, he wondered if the ache in his chest was rain or regret. Weeks blurred into November's gray chill. The board announced a fire drill mandatory, state-mandated, the kind with simulated smoke and wailing sirens to keep us sharp. Howard volunteered to help coordinate, his librarian's love for procedure kicking in. Eugene opted for observer status, citing a deadline. But on the day, as tenants milled in the lobby under fluorescent buzz, Karen arrived late, flustered, her Escalade idling illegally at the emergency exit ramp. Just dropping off dry cleaning, she huffed to Tom, who waved her through with a wink. No one questioned it. Karen's donations funded the poinsettias, after all. The drill kicked off at 2 p.m. sharp. Alarms shrieked, sprinklers hissed mist, and a controlled burn in the courtyard sent acrid plumes snaking up stairwells. This way. Exit to the street. Lee barked, herding folks toward the main doors. But Howard, clipboard in hand, noticed the snag. Karen's SUV, parked flush against the emergency exit door, its bumper kissing the frame like a lover's grudge. Karen, move it now, he yelled, pounding on the lobby window. She sauntered out, arms crossed. It's fine. Drill's fake. And I paid for that spot. Premium parking, remember? Smoke thickened, real enough to sting eyes. Tenants coughed, clustering. Eugene, who'd slipped down early, grabbed Howard's arm. The door, it's blocked solid. Panic rippled. An elderly couple from 8B, wheezing. A mom with a toddler on her hip. Howard shoved at the exit bar, nothing. Karen stood firm, phone in hand, filming. This is overreach. I'll sue the board. Eugene's face paled, memories of family drills in cramped suburb homes flashing. Escape routes etched in muscle. Howard, we have to. But Howard was already moving, yanking at the SUV's door handle. Locked. Karen, keys. People are trapped. She laughed, shrill. Trapped? It's a drill. Grow up. Sirens wailed outside, real ones now, fire department en route. A tenant, Burly Mike from 10A lunged for the vehicle, but Karen swung her purse like a mace. Chaos crested. Shouts, sobs, the toddler's wail piercing it all. Eugene, pulse hammering, spotted the flaw, Karen's key fob dangling from her lanyard. In a surge of adrenaline, he snatched it, thumbing the unlock. The SUV chirped. Howard yanked the door, reversed it wildly into the ramp's curve. Tires screeching, paint scraping. The exit swung free. They poured out, 47 souls gasping fresh air. The elderly couple clutching each other, the mom kissing her child's curls. Firefighters arrived, axes at ready, but the breach was done. Karen shrieked, clawing at Eugene. Thief! That's assault! Cuffs clicked on her wrists minutes later. Disorderly conduct, endangering residents. As cops led her away, her mascara-streaked glare fixed on Eugene. You people always cause trouble. Howard pulled him aside, into the shadow of the courtyard oak. You okay? Eugene nodded, but his hands shook. I just reacted. Silence stretched, heavy with unsaid. Then, impulsive, Eugene cupped Howard's face, rough from unshaven stubble, and kissed him. Not soft, not tentative. Fierce, tasting of smoke and salt. A decade of hidden codes unraveling in one breath. Howard froze, then melted, hands fisting Eugene's shirt. When they broke, foreheads pressed, Howard whispered, "About damn time." The aftermath buzzed like a hive kicked. News vans circled the block, entitled HOA Karen's Meltdown, trending on local feeds. The board dissolved her role overnight. Tom grumbled about drama queens. But for Howard and Eugene, the real quake was private. That night, over takeout lo mein in Howard's apartment, the first threshold crossed. Eugene confessed the weight, family pressures, the fear of being the glitch in their perfect code. Howard listened, tracing patterns on Eugene's palm. You're not a bug. You're the whole damn program. Laughter came, tentative, then true. They talked till dawn. Marcus's ghost, Eugene's closeted crushes in college, the loneliness of Chicago's vast anonymity. Yet cracks spidered. Eugene's phone lit with texts. Sisters probing. Heard about the drill. You all right? Subtext. Don't make waves. Howard's coworker, Jamal, clapped his back at the library. Hero of the hour, man. That kiss on the news? Iconic. It was grainy cell footage looped on WGN. Visibility thrilled and terrified. Karen, from lockup, posted bail and vowed lawsuits, naming Eugene as aggressor. Whispers in the halls turned. Was it heroism or hubris? Howard shielded Eugene, but doubt seeded. Could this fragile thing survive the spotlight? Winter deepened, snow blanketing the arms in hush. Their routine bloomed. Mornings tangled in sheets. Eugene's head on Howard's chest, listening to the steady thump like a metronome. Evenings, Howard reading aloud from Baldwin's essays, Eugene sketching app wireframes on napkins. Intimacy wasn't fireworks but hearth. Shared chores, Eugene burning toast and Howard salvaging with a wink. But conflict brewed. Eugene's boss, a slick VC type, pulled him aside post-drill. Great story, but clients are conservative. Keep the personal. Personal. Eugene nodded, but the partition grew. Then came the betrayal's first whisper. At a family Diwali dinner, Eugene's invite extended hesitantly to Howard. His brother Raj cornered him in the kitchen. That guy? The kiss? Dad's asking questions. Raj, married with a kid on the way, was the golden son. You're throwing it all away for what? A phase? Eugene's retort died. Instead, he drove home silent. Howard's hand on his thigh, a lifeline he almost shrugged off. Back at the arms, Howard sensed the chill. Talk to me. Eugene deflected. Just family stuff. But the seed rooted. December's grip tightened on Chicago, turning the L train's rails to silver veins against gunmetal skies. The hawthorn arms hunkered under a foot of snow, its gargoyles dusted white like forgotten sentinels. Howard and Eugene's bubble held, fragile as spun glass. Stolen lunches at the corner diner, where Howard devoured pancakes while Eugene nursed black coffee. debating whether if Beale Street could talk outshone moonlight. Both, Howard insisted, syrup on his chin. Love's not a contest. It's the overlap. Eugene smiled, but his eyes darted to the window, scanning for familiar cars. The lawsuit loomed like a storm front. Karen's attorney, a weaselly suit from the suburbs, fired off cease and desist letters. Defamation, emotional distress, reckless endangerment via unauthorized vehicle operation. Eugene's name topped the list, his snatch of the fob painted as theft. Howard paced their shared space, now a rotation between apartments, toothbrushes migrating like birds. Fight it. We have witnesses, footage. Eugene, hunched over his laptop, shook his head. It's not worth the drag. Let her win the spot. I'll park on the street. Howard stopped, hands on hips. It's not about parking, Gene. It's principle. Eugene looked up, shadows under his eyes from all-nighters tweaking code to prove reliability. Principle? Or your spotlight? The words landed soft but sharp. A paper cut. Howard reeled. Had he pushed too hard, basking in the hero glow while Eugene shrank? I thought we were in this. Eugene sighed, closing the screen. We are. But my family's watching. Raj called, Dad's concerned. If this blows up. He trailed off, the unsaid heavy. Disownment, exile from the fold that shaped him. They made up in the quiet way they did. Eugene pulling Howard onto the couch, apologies murmured into collarbones. I'm scared, Eugene admitted, voice muffled. Howard held him tighter. Me too, but scared together beats alone. That night, they ventured out, bundled against the wind, to the Aragon Ballroom, a queer open mic where comics roasted straights and poets spilled verses on unrequited aches. Howard signed up on a whim, reciting a snippet he'd penned. In hallways of half-truths, we block our own exits, fearing the rush of what's real. The crowd hooped. Eugene's pride beamed brighter than the stage lights. For a moment, the world narrowed to applause and intertwined fingers. But Raj's call lingered, a burr in Eugene's code. The next weekend, he drove to Des Plaines alone, leaving Howard with a kiss and a promise. Just smoothing edges. Howard spent the day reorganizing his shelves, alphabetizing regrets. Eugene returned hollow-eyed, samosa container untouched on the counter. Dad wants me to meet Priya's cousin. Good match, he says. Howard's stomach nodded. And, Eugene shrugged. I said no, but Raj, he told me to think practical. You're 30, bro, clock's ticking. Tension simmered into January's bite. The library buzzed for Howard, patrons requesting, that drill hero story. Jamal teasing, write the book, man. Exit strategies, a love story. Howard laughed it off, but the visibility chafed Eugene. At work, whispers followed. The gay coder? Bold move. His boss pulled him in again. Team building retreat next month. Bring a +1 if it's appropriate. Eugene's laugh was brittle. Appropriate. Got it. The fracture widened at an HOA emergency meeting, called to address Karen's fallout. The lounge overflowed, folding chairs scraping linoleum. Lee banged the gavel. Order. We're here to vote on parking reforms. Murmurs rose. Mike from Tenna pushing for assigned spots. A young mom advocating equity. Karen burst in mid-debate. Bail revoked but fury intact, flanked by her lawyer. This is harassment. That thug. Her finger jabbed toward Eugene, who sat rigid beside Howard. Stole from me. Gasps rippled. Howard's hand found Eugene's under the table, squeezing. Lies, Howard said evenly. You blocked lives. Karen sneered. Lives? Please, you're just stirring drama for your little lifestyle. The room iced. Tom cleared his throat. Let's keep it civil. But the seed was planted. Gossip bloomed in elevators. Was it really a drill? Did they exaggerate for attention? Eugene withdrew, skipping their movie nights, claiming deadlines. Howard cornered him in the hall one frosted dawn. Talk, please. Eugene's breath fogged. It's poison, how? The building, the stairs. It's turning us into the villain. Howard stepped closer, voice low. Then we fight the narrative. Together. Eugene searched his face, then nodded. Together. They sealed it with a kiss, brief, defiant. In the open hall, doors creaking open around them. But betrayal brewed darker. Raj, ever the fixer, emailed Eugene a compromise. Meet the family matchmaker. Keep things quiet till the lawsuit dies. For Mom's heart, it read. Eugene deleted it, but doubt gnawed. Late one night, Howard asleep beside him, Eugene scrolled old photos. Family feasts, his smile unshadowed. What if? February thawed the snow, but not the chill. The lawsuit dragged. Discovery dredging Eugene's emails. Howard's socials. A deposition loomed. Eugene on stand, Karen's lawyer probing. So, Mr. Patel, this heroic act, was it motivated by personal grudge? Or perhaps romantic entanglement? Eugene's throat closed. Howard, in the gallery, gripped the bench. He held voice steady. It was about safety, period. But the tabloids twisted. HOA hero or heartbreaker? Gay couples drill drama deepens. That evening, Eugene shattered. Curled on Howard's bed, sobs racking. They're painting us as freaks. My job, Dad. Everything's crumbling. Howard rocked him, murmuring, we're stronger than their ink. But as Eugene drifted to sleep, Howard stared at the ceiling, guilt twisting. Did I spark this fire? The next day, at Olive Branch. Tickets to a black queer lit festival downtown. Eugene perked, panels on intersectionality, readings that echoed their tangled identities. Amid the crowd, hands linked openly, they found breath. A poet on stage declaimed, betrayal is the mirror we shatter to see whole. Eugene squeezed Howard's hand. That's us. Yet Raj escalated. He showed at the arms unannounced, pounding on Eugene's door while Howard was at work. Open up, Gene. We need to talk. Eugene let him in, wary. Raj paced the living room, eyeing the two mugs on the coffee table. This Howard guy, he's why you're throwing away stability? Eugene bristled. It's not throwing. It's choosing. Raj scoffed, pulling out his phone. Screenshots of the tabloids, Karen's GoFundMe raking justice donations. Choosing scandal? Dad's blood pressure, Mom cries nightly. Meet the girl, keep it discreet. Or you're out. Eugene's world tilted. Out? After everything. Raj softened, brotherly. It's love, yeah? But family's forever. He left with a hug, the door clicking like a lock. Eugene sat frozen, then texted Howard. Need space tonight. Howard replied, whatever you need. Love you. But the space yawned, filled with what-ifs. Howard felt the rift like a draft. At the library, he buried in rare books, fingers tracing gilded spines. Jamal noticed, trouble in paradise? Howard shrugged. Just life. That night, alone, he penned a letter. Unsent. If you need to go, I get it. But know you're my favorite story. Dawn broke gray. Eugene didn't come. The climax brewed in March's mud. The deposition aired live on local news. Eugene's calm dismantled by cross-exam. Admit it, Mr. Patel. The kiss was staged for sympathy. Eugene's voice cracked. No, it was real. The courtroom erupted. Outside, protesters clashed. HOA reformists versus Karen's rights squad. Howard waited in the lot, engine running. Eugene slid in, drained. It's over. Judge tossed most claims. Relief flooded, but Eugene's eyes were distant. Good. Back home, the air crackled. Howard reached for him. Eugene flinched. Wait, Raj. He offered a way out. Meet the family, quiet it down. Howard's heart plummeted. And us? Eugene looked away. A pause, till it blows over. Betrayal bloomed, hot and sharp. A pause? After everything, the drill, the nights, the us. Eugene's tears fell. I can't lose them, How? Not like this. Howard stood, voice breaking. Then lose me. The door slammed. Silence swallowed the hall. The Hawthorne Arms felt hollow after that, its corridors echoing like abandoned sets. Howard moved through days on autopilot, shelving tomes at the library, their weight a poor substitute for the man who'd balanced his world. Eugene's door stayed shut, a silent sentinel. No more shared laundry loads, no laughter bleeding under thresholds. Chicago's spring teased with crocuses pushing through cracks, but Howard's heart stayed wintry, frostbitten. He threw himself into work, curating a display on queer Chicago history, clippings from Stonewall's ripples to Boystown's pride parades. Jamal helped, stacking fun home beside redefining realness. "This your therapy?" he asked, eyebrow arched. Howard managed a half smile. "Something like." Patrons lingered, stories spilling. A retiree reminiscing 80s raids, a teen wide-eyed at binders of clippings. In those exchanges, Howard glimpsed resilience, the human weave of hurt and healing. But nights, they clawed. He'd replay the fight. Eugene's flinch, the plea in his eyes. Was it cowardice or love's cruel calculus? Eugene, meanwhile, unraveled in isolation. His apartment, once a way station for their warmth, now mocked with dual shadows. 2 pillows askew, a forgotten hoodie slung over the chair, Howard's cedar-scented. Work blurred into overtime, code lines a numb mantra. The lawsuit's dismissal brought no victory. Karen slunk back, parking defiantly, her glares daggers. Raja's olive branch soured. The family dinner he'd pushed became a tribunal. Mom's eyes pleading, Dad's silence a verdict. "We're proud, Beta," Mom whispered post-meal. "But choices have costs." Eugene nodded, but inside, the cost tallied. Howard's laugh, gone. He tried dating apps, swipes mechanical, profiles blurring into sameness. A coffee with a barista named Theo fizzled. Theo's easy flirt felt like costume. "You seem elsewhere," Theo said kindly. Eugene fled to the lakefront, wind whipping off Michigan's slate waves, hurling stones into the abyss. "What have I done?" Text to Howard sat drafted, "Miss you. Can we talk?" Sent, deleted, repeat. The board, sensing fracture, called a reconciliation mixer. Awkward potluck in the lounge, folding tables groaning under casseroles and suspicion. Howard arrived late, bearing lemon bars from the bakery down the block. Eugene was there, cornered by Lee, nodding politely. Their eyes met across the room, electric, pained. Howard's pulse stuttered. He turned to Mike, chatting Cubs stats. Eugene excused himself, fleeing to the balcony, city lights a glittering taunt. Howard followed, the door snicking shut behind. "Gene." Eugene leaned on the rail, breath visible. "How?" Silence stretched, city hum underscoring. "I'm sorry," Eugene burst. "Raj," he twisted it. "I panicked." Howard's throat tightened. "Panicked? Or chose?" Eugene whirled. "Both. Family's my anchor. Without them, who am I?" Howard stepped closer, voice raw. "Mine. You were mine." Tears tracked Eugene's cheeks. "I want to be. God, I do." Impulse bridged the gap, arms wrapping, sobs muffled in shoulders. They held till the mixer thinned. Promises whispered, "Slow. Try again." Rebuilding was tentative. Coffee in neutral territory. The diner's vinyl booths a buffer. Howard shared library tales. A kid discovering Audre Lorde, eyes alight. Eugene confessed code wins. An app update that streamlined trades, earning quiet praise. Laughter crept back, fragile. But shadows lingered. At a family call, Eugene muted the video, Howard's hand in his under the desk. "Tell us about work," Dad prompted. Eugene did, omitting the heart beside him. April bloomed riotous, tulips rioting in planters, the L train blooming with commuters. They ventured dates. Art Institute, wandering impressionist halls. Monet's lilies a soft echo of their mending. Eugene bought a print, a Matisse nude, all fluid lines. "Like us," he said, hanging it in his space. Howard's apartment gained touches. Eugene's spare charger on the nightstand, a spice jar of garam masala in the cabinet. Intimacy rekindled gently. Fingers laced in parks, heads on laps during the wire marathons. "You're my plot twist," Howard murmured once, tracing Eugene's jaw. Eugene smiled, but worry etched faint lines. The betrayal's echo struck at a pride planning meet. Howard volunteering for the parade float, Eugene tagging along hesitantly. Organizers buzzed. Rainbow banners, corporate sponsors. A panelist, fiery activist type, railed. Visibility's a weapon, wield it. Eugene shifted, whispering, easy for them. Howard squeezed his knee. One step, but later, over beers at a dive, Eugene vented. It's exhausting. Hiding at home, parading here, like code switching on steroids. Howard nodded. I know, but we choose when to flip the switch. Raj's next move blindsided. He emailed Howard directly, dug up from public drill footage. Stay away from my brother. You're toxic. Attached, screenshots of Eugene's browser history, Grindr ghosts, therapy sites. Howard's blood boiled. He forwarded to Eugene. Confrontation erupted that night, Eugene's door ajar. Raj did what? Rage flared. He thinks he's protecting me, but it's control. They drove to Des Plaines unannounced. Howard at the wheel, Eugene navigating fury. Raj answered shirtless, kid on hip. Gene? What the? Words flew. Accusations, defenses. You outed his searches? That's betrayal. Howard thundered. Raj sneered. Better me than dad. Wake up. He'll never choose you over blood. Eugene stepped forward, voice steel. Wrong. I choose Howard. And if that's losing you, so be it. Raj's face crumpled. Anger to ache. You're breaking Mom. The door shut soft. They left in silence, the Prius humming south. Back in the city, catharsis crashed. Eugene initiated, kissing Howard against the elevator wall, urgent, reclaiming. No more pauses. They tumbled into bed, bodies mapping familiar terrain, whispers weaving vows. Dawn found them tangled, sunlight slanting gold. But karma circled. Karen, undeterred, escalated. Anonymous flyers in mailboxes. Beware the drill thugs. They'll steal your spot and your soul. Slurs veiled in legalese. The board condemned, but damage seeped. Tenants averting eyes, whispers sharpening. Howard shrugged it off publicly, but privately, doubt gnawed. Are we the disruption? May's warmth coaxed them outdoors. Picnics in Grant Park. Eugene's head in Howard's lap, clouds scudding like code errors. They talked futures. Eugene eyeing freelance, less corporate leash. Howard dreaming a queer-lit nonprofit. Us against the bylaws, Howard joked. Eugene laughed. But one evening, post-call with Mom, tearful pleading, he confessed. She asked if you're serious. I said yes. Silence, then okay. Howard held him, one brick at a time. The fracture mended, but scars pulled. At a library event, reading of Giovanni's Room, Eugene attended, front row, applause mingling pride and pinch. Afterward, a donor cornered Howard. Inspiring couple, donate to the cause. Eugene beamed, but later, in the car, couple, public. Howard glanced over. Problem. Eugene shook head. Evolution. Yet Raj's silence festered. A text pinged mid-June. Haven't heard from you. Kid misses uncle. Guilt lanced. Eugene replied, miss him too. Doors open. No response. Howard sensed the tug. Go see them. On your terms. Eugene did solo visit. Kid in arms, Mom's hug thawing. Raj nodded coolly. Happy for you. Really. Progress prickly. Summer solstice neared. The arms abuzz with block party plans. Howard and Eugene hosted a pregame. Neighbors on the roof deck, string lights twinkling, grill smoke curling. Mike Man burgers. Lee spun tails. Karen absented, rumored relocated. Laughter flowed easy. Eugene's toast. To exits unblocked, hearts unlocked. Cheers rose. Howard's eyes met his, promise held. But undercurrents stirred. A letter arrived, certified, from Raj's firm. Cease contact, or escalation. Forgery? No, Raj's signature. Betrayal redux. Eugene's hands shook reading it aloud. He went legal? For what? Protecting family. Howard's jaw set. This ends now. July's heat wave blanketed Chicago in a sauna shroud, the air thick as unspoken grievances. The Hawthorne Arms roof deck, usually a sanctuary of potted herbs and distant fireworks, became a pressure cooker for the block party. Howard and Eugene's grill sizzled with veggie skewers and brats, laughter bubbling like beer foam, but Raj's letter cast a pall. Eugene pocketed it, forcing smiles for neighbors. Pass the slaw, Mike? Howard watched, his librarian's eye cataloging the strain. Eugene's laugh a beat off, eyes scanning the crowd like threat assessment. The party peaked at dusk, skyline igniting in purples and golds. Kids chased glow sticks. Lee led a conga line, improbably limber. Howard pulled Eugene aside, into the stairwell's cool shadow. We confront him. Tonight. Eugene's brow furrowed. Here? With everyone. Howard nodded. Public stakes raised the truth. Doubt flickered, but Eugene agreed, enough hiding. Raj arrived fashionably late, kid in tow, mom trailing with a foil tray of pakoras. Casual like the letter was lint. Eugene intercepted at the gate. We need to talk. Raj's smile faltered. Party first, bro. But Howard loomed. Polite steel. Now. They retreated to a corner, adults buffering the child with juice boxes. Words erupted low and lethal. Legal threats? Really? Eugene hissed, letter thrust forward. Raj's face hardened. Protective order template. You ghosted, families fracturing. Mom gasped, hand to mouth. Raj, what? Raj rounded. Ask him. Chooses this. Stranger over us. Howard bristled. Stranger? I'm the one who held him when your protection broke him. Mom's eyes darted, shock to sympathy. Beta, is this true? Eugene stepped center, voice steady. It's not choice. It's both. You, Howard, my worlds. Raj scoffed. Worlds? One's a fairy tale. The slur landed like a spark on dry tinder. Howard surged. Eugene blocked. Stop. Raj, you're the betrayer. Outing my heart to control it. Silence crashed. Mom touched Raj's arm. Enough. He's happy. Let him. Raj's defiance cracked. Tears. Sudden. I just don't want to lose you. Eugene hugged him, fierce. You won't, but on my terms. The party resumed, mended threads tentative. Mom chatted with Howard, halting, then warm. You like books? Eugene reads none. Laughter bridged. Raj lingered peripheral, kid asleep on his shoulder, gaze softening. As fireworks bloomed, citywide, not just Wrigley, Eugene leaned into Howard. Thank you for pushing. Howard kissed his temple. Team. August simmered scandals. Karen's flyers backfired. Tenants rallied, petitioning her eviction. The board voted unanimous. She vacated in a huff. Escalade towed. News cycled. HOA tyrants fall. Love wins? Eugene's boss called praise, not probe. Saw the op-ed. Proud you're out and about. Eugene hung up stunned. Out. At work. Howard hooped, spinning him in the kitchen. Evolution. Remember? But humanism's edge cut deep. A library patron, grizzled vet named Carl, confided post-story hour. Hid my own for decades. Lost a brother to it. Don't wait. Howard nodded, ache blooming. His own family, estranged since coming out at 22. Mom's calls dwindled to birthdays. Dad's silence a wall. Eugene sensed, prompted gently. Tell me about them. Over ice cream on the fire escape. City pulse below. Howard unspooled. Jersey roots, Milltown grit. The fight at Thanksgiving 15. Faggots not family, Dad spat. Mom just cried. Eugene listened. Then, mine might come around. Yours too. Time's a patient editor. Labor Day loomed. Lakefront fairs calling. They packed a basket, sandwiches, Baldwin paperback, heading to Oak Street Beach. Waves lapped lazy. Volleyball thwacks punctuated sighs. Eugene buried toes in sand. What if we moved? Somewhere less layered. Howard considered. Like. Eugene grinned. Portland? Queer Mecca. Rain like therapy. Howard laughed. Deal if you learn to shelve. They dozed, heads pillowed on arms, sunset gilding skin. Back home, conflict crested unexpected. A call from Eugene's startup. Layoff, restructuring. Not personal, or was it? Whispers of distraction from the drill saga. Eugene spiraled, pacing. Freelance? Now? With Raj's crap, Mom's worries. Howard brewed tea, steady. Opportunity. Code your way. But doubt seeded. Am I anchor or weight? September's leaves turned, mirroring turmoil. Eugene dove into gigs, apps for nonprofits, queer dating tweaks. Howard supported. Networking intros at library events. One night, post-pitch win, Eugene burst in. Landed it. Trans resource platform. Celebration spilled. Dinner at Girl and the Goat. Toasts clinking. To unblocked paths, Howard said. Eugene's eyes shone. And shared ones. Raj thawed incrementally. Texts about the kids' milestones. An invite to a Cubs game. Eugene went, Howard tagging neutral. Bleachers buzzed. Raj clapped Howard's back mid-inning. Good arm on that catch. Truce. Embryonic. Mom sent care packages, spices, notes. Proud of my brave boy. Healing, halting. October circled back. Anniversary of the drill. The arms hosted a safety summit. Ironic, redemptive. Howard keynote. Exits aren't just doors. They're choices. Eugene, beside, added. And sometimes, you block your own. Applause thundered. Afterward, tenants cued handshakes. Karen? A footnote, relocated to suburbs. Suit dismissed. But climax brewed personal. Dad. Eugene's, called voice gravel. Heard you're struggling. Come home. Alone. Subtext. Repent. Eugene's resolve wavered. Howard caught the call's wake. Go if you need. But know my door's open. Eugene chose. With you. Virtually. Video call ensued. Dad stern. Mom mediating. Papa, this is Howard. Awkward hellos. Dad grunted. Treat him right. Click. Progress pixelated. Halloween haunted gentle. Costumes, Howard as Baldwin, pipe and all. Eugene as touring, bowtie askew. Block party redux. Candy corn and candor. Raj showed, kid as dinosaur, mom in sorry. Hugs flowed freer. Even Tom toasted. To no more Karens. November's chill nipped. Gratitude list scrawled. Howard's. Eugene's laugh. Library lights. Eugene's. Howard's patience. Families fold. Thanksgiving split. Half with Raj's, turkey and tentative toasts. Half at a queer shelter, serving pie to those untethered. This, Howard said, passing slices, is family too. December dawned, solstice fires kindling. The drill scar faded, but lessons etched. Betrayal's sting, love's labor. Eugene's freelance bloomed, partnership offer. Flexible. Howard's nonprofit seed sprouted. Grant 4 Hidden Histories series. One snowy eve, roof deck hushed. They stood wrapped in one coat. A year, Eugene murmured. Howard turned. And forever? Eugene nodded. Ring box conjured. Simple band. Engraved. Unblocked. Marry me. Tears yes, kiss ceiling. The proposal's glow lingered into January. A hearth against Chicago's bone chill. Howard slipped the band on Eugene's finger during a quiet diner breakfast. Pancakes cooling, waitress winking. Yes, Eugene breathed. Then louder, hell yes. They called Raj first. His whoop crackled through the speaker. About time. Mom's planning already. Dad's grunt evolved to congratulations. Mom's sobs joyful. Howard's family? A postcard to Jersey. Found my forever. Wish you'd see. No reply but release in the send. Wedding whispers wove through winter. Small, rooftop at the arms, spring bloom if weather held. Invites handwritten, Eugene's script elegant. Venue hunt. Boys Town Chapel, too churchy. Lakeside Pavilion, too exposed. Settled on the library's rooftop garden, Howard's domain. Shelves below echoing vows. Fitting, Eugene teased. Marrying amid misfiled dreams. But humanism's shadow lengthened. Layoffs echo lingered. Eugene's gig steady, but imposter syndrome gnawed. A client pitch tanked. Feedback veiled. Cultural fit concerns. Code for the gay coder? He confided over late-night ramen. Am I fooling them or myself? Howard listened. Then, you're authentic. That's the fit. Eugene leaned in. With you, yeah. February's frost birthed conflict anew. A donor to Howard's nonprofit withdrew. Memo citing controversial figures. The drill, twisted. Heroes or hazards? Board meeting devolved. Lee defending, Tom hedging. Howard resigned chair. Voice calm. Won't drag us down. Eugene fumed post-meet. Bullshit. Fight. Howard shook head. Some battles pick you. Others you sidestep. Doubt crept. Am I holding him back? Eugene countered with action, hacking a pro bono site for the nonprofit donor dashboard transparent. Transparency disarms, he said. It worked. New backers trickled, whispers turning to cheers. But Raj stirred embers. Wedding invite declined. Work crunch. Subtext. Dad's discomfort. Eugene's hurt flared. After everything? Call ensued. Brotherly barbs. Give him time, Raj urged. Pushing brakes more. Eugene hung up, deflated. Howard massaged shoulders. Time's ours. March Madness. Literal with NCAA brackets at the bar. Metaphorical in monsoon rains. A storm flooded the arms basement. Laundry room a swamp. Neighbors mucked out together. Buckets sloshing, jokes soggy. Mike unearthed old boxes. Faded photos, a 90s pride pin. Forgotten history, Howard mused, pinning it to his collar. Eugene smiled. Like us. Climax crested mid-month. Dad arrived unannounced. Airport rental, stoic at the door. Talk. Eugene paled. Howard brewed chai, exiting discreet. Living room tense. Dad's gaze appraising, photos of them, Matisse print. This your life? Eugene nodded. Ours. Dad's monologue tumbled. Regrets, his own hidden youth. A college crush, buried for duty. Feared losing you like I lost me. Tears rare. Eugene hugged. You haven't. Howard returned to handshakes. Awkward, then firm. Take care of him. Always. April showered renewal. Wedding plans bloomed. Suits tailored. Howard's charcoal. Eugene's navy. Vows drafted. Eugene's poetic. Howard's prose heartfelt. Rehearsal dinner at Raj's. Full family. Toasts tearful. Mom danced with Howard. My second son. But betrayal's ghost revisited. An ex-client sued Eugene, code theft. Baseless but bruising. Discovery dredged emails. Raj's firm tangentially linked. Conflict of interest. Confrontation. You knew. Raj denied. Then confessed. Advised caution. Didn't think it'd boomerang. Fracture reopened. Eugene iced him out. Wedding invite rescinded. Blood or not, trusts earned. Howard mediated. Forgive slow. Eugene nodded, but ache lingered. May's warmth coaxed vulnerability. Therapy joint. Queer-affirming counselor. Sessions unpacking layers. Eugene's bicultural bind. Howard's paternal void. Healing's nonlinear, she said. They emerged lighter, holding hands public. June pride pulsed. Parade entry. Float rainbow wired. Eugene emceed a segment. From blocked exits to open hearts. Cheers deafened. Raj watched sidelines. Kid waving flags. Post-march brunch. Reconciliation tentative. Raj apologetic. Eugene cautious. Uncle's wedding? Kid piped. Laughter bridged. July heat tested. Heatwave blackout. Arms sweltering. Neighbors camped roof. Stories swapped under stars. An elder, Ms. Rivera, shared. Lost my love to AIDS. Fought alone. You two? Fight together. Wisdom soaked in. August's lull birth dreams. Honeymoon hike in Smokies post-vow. Eugene's freelance crested. Offer from inclusive tech co-op. Howard's nonprofit funded. Exits and entries exhibit. Queer migration tales. September equinox balanced. Dad visited, solo dinner, tales traded. Proud, he said, simple. Jersey postcard replied, Mom's scrawl, thinking of you. Love. October circled, drills echo faint. Safety Summit Redux, Howard honored, Eugene beside. Karen, distant memory reformed in therapy per rumor. November gratitude deepened. Lists longer, family fuller. Thanksgiving unified, Raj's table, Dad carving, Howard's pie lauded. December wove closure. Solstice ceremony small. Rooftop, stars witnesses. Vows exchanged. In chaos, you cleared my path. Rings renewed. Kiss sealed under mistletoe moon. The wedding dawned crisp. Chicago's skyline a steel etching against rose gold haze. The library rooftop garden brimmed. Potted azaleas nodding. String lights dormant in daylight. 50 souls gathered. Arms neighbors and folding chairs. Raj's family clustered. Mom dabbing eyes. Library crew, Jamal officiant in bow tie. Even Tom, mustache twitching approval. Dad stood sentinel, arm linked with Mom's. Howard's side sparse. Cousin from Jersey, flyer found friends, but full in spirit. Eugene waited at the arch. Ivy draped, simple, navy suit hugging frame. Eyes locked on Howard's approach. Path-strewn petals. Red for passion, white for peace. Howard, charcoal sharp, bouquet of dog-eared paperbacks bound in ribbon. Baldwin, Lord, Patel's annotations. Jamal's voice boomed warm. We gather not just for love, but the labor of it. The drills dodged, doors unjammed. Vows poured, Howard first, voice steady. Eugene, you were the glitch that fixed me. In hallways of half-lives, you handed me the key. I vow to shelve your doubts. Check out your dreams. Renew us daily. Laughter rippled. Eugene's turn, throat bobbing. Howard, you pulled me from the code's cold loop. Amid blocked exits and family firewalls, you debugged my fears. I vow to compile our chaos into home. Iterate on forever. Rings slid, gold bands etched unblocked. Kiss ignited, cheers erupting. Reception spilled lakeside. Picnic blankets. Food trucks wafting tacos and samosas. Dances awkward joyful. Dad twirling Eugene, slow. Howard and Jamal spinning wild. Raj cornered Howard. You saved him. Us. Toast clinked. To family, chosen and mended. Honeymoon beckoned, Smoky's trails, cabins fog-shrouded. They hiked misty paths, hands clasped, summits whispering futures. Co-op codes, non-profit expansions, perhaps a kid. Adopted, eventual. Back in Chicago, life layered richer. The arms evolved, new board, equitable bylaws. Parking communal, spots unclaimed. Karen faded to anecdote, her tantrum a cautionary in safety trainings. Eugene's co-op thrived, projects inclusive. Howard's exhibit toured, exits and entries. Panels on betrayal's bridge to belonging. Conflicts lingered, humanistic hue. Dad's visits sporadic, Jersey's thaw glacial. Mom's emails warming. Dad's card silent but present. Raj's bond knit tighter. Kid's Uncle How. A bomb. Betrayals taught. Not ends but edits. Stories revised, not scrapped. One spring eve, roof deck al fresco. They lounged, wine-breathing, city humming. Eugene traced Howard's ring. Think we'd block our own exit again? Howard chuckled. Nah, we learned the code. Laughter rose, easy, eternal. Years unspooled. Adoptions discussed. Shelves merged. Drills routine. Chicago's pulse synced theirs. L train's rhythm. Lake's endless lap. Love, dramatic once, settled romantic. Coffee mornings, quiet eves. The deep human weave of two souls, unblocked, unbound. In the end, it wasn't triumph or tragedy, but testament. Hearts, like buildings, stand not despite storms, but through them. Exits cleared, entrances embraced. Lives lived loud and true.